Yes, good evening. And what's up, USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, host with the most, creator, misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and rookie podcaster of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you're rocking and hanging out with me on the 110th episode of Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, the review show. And today's episode, we're going to be reviewing not only the movie Uncharted, but also the games behind it. And we got a little music Kool-Aid of hip hop history to get to, but let me just remind everybody um for anybody that's trying to reach out to me on my phone or whatever, unfortunately, my phone is out of service at this point. So I have to wait until Wednesday to actually get me a new battery. So I just wanted to put it out there. Um, my phone's having a little technical difficulty at the moment. So anyway, by the way, you like to make a charitable donation to support this podcast, you're more than welcome to actually make a charitable donation to my Cash App, which is right about. Wait, hold on. Yeah, my Cash App is. Hang on a second. Yes, yes, this is my Cash App right here. So you can support not only this show but my other shows that I do on a weekly basis. So it's Cash App $ capital G lowercase MONEY capital S lowercase TACKZ 555. You don't need a lot of money to actually show moral support. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you desire and that you're comfortable with will be appreciated. So there you go, right there. And don't forget to grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, and tap that noni bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream alongside with um with sharing the episodes, sharing the videos, stream, listen, watch the episodes in case you miss any of them. And and of course, leave a like and a comment along with the review topic episodes. And of course, stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes, and of course, tell a friend to another friend, and I will be um able to tell you what particular stream platforms you are able to listen on. So I got y'all with that one right there. So yeah, and yeah, as I said before, we got a little. Hold on a minute here. We got a little music Kool Aid of hip hop history that we need to get to right now. So we're gonna start with Run DMC, and they're part of a music Kool Aid segment. So without further ado, let's get into it right now. Of course, everybody knows who Run DMC is, right? Yeah, everybody grew up listening to their music. Um, and so let's get into it right here. So today in hip hop history, Run DMC dropped their sophomore LP, King of Rock, 38 years ago. So the Kings from Queens dropped their sophomore LP 38 years ago today. On this date in 1985, of course, of course, of course, Joseph Simmons, aka Joey, aka Ron, Daryl DMC McDaniels, and Jason Mizell successfully avoided the sophomore jinx some 3 decades ago when they released the follow-up to their self-titled album um with the King of Rock. Produced by Run's brother, Def Jam founder Russell Simmons, this album was the project that catapulted the crew from rappers to internationally recognized recording artists. King of Rock is historic in the sense that it was the first hip hop album to go platinum and ended up going double platinum. Singles like King of Rock and Rock It Like This appeared in the cult classic flick Crush Groove. Man, stop calling it a fucking cult, man. Just call it a classic, man. Like seriously, like enough already. Like this is so fucking ridiculous right now, man. And I don't like the word cult. Like it's just flat out annoying to me. Um you know what I mean? So anyway, which is based on the rise of Run DMC, Def Jam Records, co-starring Jay, Daryl, and Joe. Those two tracks and the comical "You Talk Too Much" all reached the top 20 R&B charts. Salute to Run DMC, the Mizell family, the Simmons family, Rick Rubin, Larry Smith, RP, and everyone at Def Jam and Profile who made this album happen. Okay, up next is another one. Yes, also in hip hop history in music Kool-Aid is 29 years ago today, Nas dropped his debut LP Illmatic, released by Columbia Records in 94. Nas recorded the album at Chung King Studios, D&D Recording, Battery Studios, and Unique Recording Studios in New York City. Produced by DJ Premier, Large Professor, Pete Rock, Q-Tip, LES, and Nas himself. The bangers on the album will be embedded in hip hop culture as classics merely based on their production alone. The album sold $60,000 in the first week and debuted at number 12 on the US Billboard 200 chart. On January 17, 1996, the album was certified gold by the RIAA. In 2001, it earned a platinum certification after shipping 1 million copies in the United States alone. Lyrically, Nas delivered certified street verses on Illmatic that influenced the majority of the 90s and is regarded as one of the greatest LPs of all time by critics and major publications globally. Um, so yeah, yeah. So that wow. I gotta say, man, that's a big congratulations right here. So a big congratulations is in order. So let's make some noise for for Nas and of course Run DMC for having the longevity of their careers. So let's do this. All right. Didn't mean to do that right there, man. And and let me see. All right, we're gonna get into the film Uncharted. Now let me just look for the sound effect right here. Hold on, wait, hold on a second. Um, yeah, I'm gonna need this. Give me a minute here. I thought I saved this already. Wait, hold on a minute here. Oh, I went to the wrong thing. Okay, voice recorder is where I went to. All right, all right, we're gonna get into the Chillax Man Cave Popcorn Lounge. Let's get into it right about now. All right, yeah. All right, so I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with the video game, which we'll get to in a couple seconds. Uncharted is a 2022 American action adventure film directed by Ruben Fleischer from a screenplay by Raphael Lee Judkins, Art Markham, and Matt Holloway. Based on the video game franchise of the same name, developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It stars Tom Holland as Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sullivan, and Sophia Ali, Tati Gabrielle, and Antonio Banderas in supporting roles. In the film, Drake is recruited by Sullivan in a race against corrupt billionaire Santiago Moncada and mercenary leader Joe Braddock to locate the fabled treasure of the Magellan expedition. Yes. And yes, so the film entered development in 2008 with producer Avi Arad stating that he would be working with Sony Pictures to develop a film adaptation of the video game franchise. It was then in development hell with various directors, screenwriters, and lead cast members attached at various points. Filmmakers David O. Russell, Neil Berger, Seth Gordon, Dan Trachtenberg, Sean Levy, and Travis Knight were initially signed to direct, while Wahlberg was set to play Drake in early development. Holland was cast as Drake in May 2017, and Fleischer was hired as the director in early 2020. Filming began in March 2020, but was halted by the COVID-19 slamdemic. Yeah, you know how that shit goes. That right there is just that's just scary, man. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't mean to make that loud, but so yeah. Yeah, you know how that shit goes, man, with delays and stuff when it comes to film projects and stuff. So I oh man. Um so anyway, it resumed in July and finished in October with locations including Boston, New York City, Barcelona, and Kia Kiamba, excuse me. Originally set to be released on December 18, 2020, the film faced major delays due to the COVID-19 slamdemic. It eventually premiered at the Coliseum in Barcelona on February 7th, 2022, and was theatrically released in the United States by Sony Pictures, releasing on February 18th. The film received mixed reviews from critics who found it to be a misleading adaptation of the video game franchise and underwhelming um compared to other action adventure films. Um I should say that the budget for this film was about 120 $120 million. Wow. $120 million right there. That right there, that's very interesting right there. Um yeah, $120 million is the amount. So um and I believe hold on a minute here. Let me get this thing running. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, yes, so the budget for the film is $120 million. Hold on. And the film grossed $401.7 million worldwide, making it the fifth highest grossing video game film at of hold on, the fifth highest grossing video game film of all time. That's $401.7 million. All right. um. Okay. Now that I got that out the way, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I know there's more to this actually. Yeah, there's more to this actually. So, let's go to the reception. So, Uncharted grossed $148.7 million in the United States and Canada, and in Canada, and $253.3 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $401.7 million. Okay. Yes. All right. So, the result lands Uncharted as the fifth highest grossing film based on a video game of all time worldwide. This puts the domestic grossing position of the film as the third highest grossing, behind Sonic the Hedgehog and its sequel. Internationally, only Uncharted is the sixth highest grossing video game adaptation. In the United States and Canada, Uncharted was released alongside Dog and The Cursed and was projected to gross 25 to $35 million from 4,275 theaters in its opening weekend, um, as well as $30 to $40 million if including the President's Day holiday. The film earned an estimated $15.4 million on its first day, including $3.7 million from Thursday night previews. Interesting. All right. All right. So um let's continue. So its opening surpassed projections, grossing $44 million in 3 days and $51.3 million in 4 days. It had the biggest opening during the first 2 months of 2022. It grossed $23 million in its second weekend, $11.1 million in its third, $9.3 million in its fourth, $7.8 million in its fifth, $5 million in its sixth, $3.7 million in its seventh, $2.6 million in its eighth, and $1.2 million in its ninth. The film dropped out of the box office top 10 in its 10th weekend, finishing 13th with $470,643. All right. Outside the United States and Canada, the film grossed $21.5 million in its opening weekend from 15 international markets. It opened in first place at the box office in all of its markets, including the United Kingdom, with $66.4 million, Russia $4.5 million, and Spain $3.5 million. The film's international opening gross was reported to be ahead of the debuts of Marvel Studios' 2021 films Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and The Legends of the Ten Rings, and Eternals. In its second international weekend, um, the film grossed a further $55.4 million from 62 overseas territories, bringing its worldwide gross to $139 million up until then. From 64 markets, the film earned an additional $35 million in its third weekend and 17.4 million in its fourth. The film crossed the $300 million mark worldwide after adding $11.2 million in its fifth weekend and the $200 million mark internationally with the addition of $19 million in its sixth weekend. The film earned $7.7 million in its seventh weekend, $3.1 million in its ninth, $2.1 million in its 10th, $1.4 million in its 11th, and $1.2 million in its 12th. It crossed the $400 million um, worldwide mark in its 15th weekend in theaters. How about that? All right. Okay. Critical response. Um the review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes reported an approval rating of 41% with an average rating of 5.30 out of 10 based on 258 reviews. The website's critical consensus reads promisingly cast but misleadingly titled Uncharted mines its best-selling source material to produce a disappointing echo of superior adventure films. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 45 out of 100. Based on 44 critics, indicated indicating mixed or average reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B plus on an A plus to F scale, while those at PostTrack gave it a 79% positive score, with 61% saying they would definitely recommend it. Owen Gleiberman of Variety found the film watchable in a thin Raiders of the lost national treasure of the Fast and Furious Caribbean Way. IGN's Jeffrey Vega gave the film a 7 out of 10, stating it's safe, but it's mostly a fun and effective adventure, while also praising Holland's performance. Reviewing for the rap, Todd Gilchrist also praised Holland's performance, citing undeniable charisma and sincerity that makes him tirelessly likable. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian gave the film a 2 out of 5, labeling it an efficient, soulless hologram. That's fucking interesting right there. um, yeah, the Independence Clarice Laurie also gave the film 2 out of 5 and criticized the casting and script writing. There's a lot to Uncharted that feels haphazard or under considered. Writing for Empire, D. Um, D Nick D. Semlian criticized the dialogue between Holland and Wahlberg and and called Banderas a colorless villain. Similar similar criticism was noted in Marshall Schaefer's review for the playlist, who wrote, "Every line feels as if it had to pass a corporate committee vote, giving the film a C." A C? Damn. A C? Damn, son. I hope it's not a crash and burn bad feeling if you want to get technical. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh man. Oh my gosh, man. A C. Wow. A C. That's funny right there. A C. That's crazy, man. Okay. So Robert Robert Calder of Polygon criticized the weak chemistry between Wahlberg and Holland and the editing, stating the film lacks stakes, genuine peril, or adrenaline pumping adventure, which was echoed by Gizmodo's German Lucier, who concluded the film feels thrown together with the hope a name brand will tie it all together. Adam Rosenberg of Mashable praised the cinematography and compared Holland's performance to be a nod to Jackie Chan's slapstick aero- acrobatics, but said the story and characters were underdeveloped, calling it a nitwit treasure hunt movie in her New York Times write up. Um, Manola Dargis gave a negative review saying Uncharted is an amalgam of cliches past their sell by date. Giving the film a C minus, IndieWire's David Ehrlich negatively compared the film to the video game, stating perhaps the film's Walmart approach to its action would have been more forgivable if the games weren't so frequently surfaced with Spiel, Spielbergian flair, just as the film's archetypal characters may have been less underwhelming had the games not managed to establish 10 times the pathos with none of the same flesh and blood. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. That would be some shit right here, man. Yeah, you get the gist of this shit though, man. Oh man. Oh my gosh. That right there is just crazy right there. Um so yeah. Um okay, so writing for the Globe and Mail, Barry Hertz agreed, stating Fleischer and his many writers delivered a straight-faced assault of under-the-top tedium, and concluding the film carries a bizarre utter disdain for its audience. Damn, is it like that? Is it really like that though? Like really though? Like like seriously? Like I don't know, man. This is just beyond um I don't know, man. I'm just like I'm kind of torn between though, man. Like it's one thing that the movie did good in the box office, but then you have idiotic critics who want to say things just to just to get validation from people and shit like that, man. That shit really grinds my gears right here, man. And of course, this. Yeah. Um all right, so Danny Lay of Financial Times said the film feels uptight and joyless, negatively comparing it to Police Story and Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981. Writing for Engadget, Devendra Hardawar said Uncharted was aggressively average and criticized the screenplay, writing our heroes quit, defy physics, but never feel like they are in any danger. Reviewing for Ars Technica, Sam Mekovic gave a negative review regarding the film's action sequences, describing Uncharted as a high school film class rendition of Bourne, and negatively compared it to the video games. Conversely, CNN's Brian Lowry praised the action sequences but criticized the character development, stating it felt the filmmakers treated it as an unnecessary distraction. Charles Pillion Moore of The Verge also criticized the film for its lack of defined characters, writing the bulk of Nathan and Sully's banter falls flat due to an unfortunate blend of questionable chemistry and hawk-eyed dialogue, as the film can't commit to a focus or a tone, making it feel much longer than it actually is all throughout. And as for the future, Fleischer expressed interest in a sequel, citing the car chase from a thief's end as a set piece he would like to replicate, but noted that it was entirely dependent on the financial success of the first film. Following its opening weekend, chairman of Sony Pictures Tom Rothman said Uncharted is a new franchise for Sony. Okay, all right, now we can go on to the video game of Uncharted and our new segment right here. And actually, it's not a new segment. Y'all probably know this by now. It is the video game man. Video game. It's the video game chamber right here. And we're gonna get to it with some temporary sound effects right here. So here we here we go. All right. Since we're talking about Uncharted today, the video game besides the movie. Um hold on, let me give hold on a second. Let me just give some more leeway to this segment right here. All right. Since we talking Uncharted, we'll get to the other games that came out or whatever in a sec. So, Uncharted is an action adventure video game franchise published by Sony Interactive Entertainment and developed by Naughty Dog, created by Amy Henning. The Uncharted franchise follows a group of treasure hunters who travel across the world to uncover various historical mysteries. The series features historical fiction elements of fantasy and folklore, and fictional characters alongside real world historical figures and events. In the main series, players control Nathan Drake. In the expansion, players control Chloe Fraser. And yes, so the platforms is PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, not sure what that is, PlayStation 4, Android, iOS, PlayStation 5, and of course Windows as well. Okay, so the franchise's first game, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, was released in 2007 and has featured 7 further titles, with the main series including the direct sequels to Uncharted 2 Among Thieves 2009, Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception 2011, and Uncharted 4 A Thief's End 2016. Spin-offs: Uncharted Golden Abyss, that's also 2011. Uncharted Fight for Fortune 2012, and the standalone expansion Uncharted The Lost Legacy 2017 also support the main series. Originally published exclusively for PlayStation consoles, the franchise later released games for other platforms, with the mobile spin-off Uncharted Fortune Hunter and remasters of A Thief's End and Lost Legacy for Windows in 2022. The main games are played from a third person perspective, with gameplay mostly revolving around combat, shooting, exploration, and puzzles, while platforming is used to navigate the environment. Later titles began including competitive and cooperative multiplayer game modes, stealth, and driving gameplay. Uncharted drew inspiration from other games, other games, film, and additional media, and is known for featuring exotic locations. Several adaptations of the series have also been released, including a live action film, board games, comics, and a novel. The main series received widespread critical acclaim, with praise for the story, cast, animation, and characters, graphical and gameplay mechanics, and music, when its high production value being frequently compared to Hollywood produced action adventure films. It has also been credited by critics and publications for raising standards for single player games, and is consistently ranked among the greatest video games. Uncharted has shipped over 41 million units, making it one of the best selling video game franchises, helping the success of PlayStation during the 7th and 8th generation, and elevating Naughty Dog's reputation as a developer. Okay, so let's go to the reception. Um, let's go to the reception right here for the franchise. All right, so let's see. So the Uncharted series. Okay, so okay, so okay, wait. Um, let me see. Okay, all right. So we got a chart that we have to go over. This is for the Uncharted franchise, which starts with the year and Metacritic. Metacritic gives Uncharted Drake's Fortune 88 out of 100. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves 2009 96 out of 100. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception 2011 92 out of 100. Uncharted Golden Abyss 2011 80 out of 100. Uncharted Fight for Fortune 2012 67 out of 100. Charted the Nathan Drake Collection 2015 86 out of 100. Uncharted 4 A Thief's End 2016 93 out of 100. Uncharted Fortune Hunter 2016, 77 out of 100. Uncharted The Lost Legacy 2017, 84 out of 100. And Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection 2022, 87 out of 100. The Uncharted series has been a major success both critically and commercially. By September 2017, the series has sold over 41 million copies worldwide. Much of the praise for the series has gone towards the graphics Naughty Dog have produced and attained, as well as the writing and voice acting, with Games Radar ranking it the second best franchise of the seventh generation. The Uncharted series is widely credited with bringing up Naughty Dog's reputation and has them regarded as one of the best developers in the industry. As the protagonist of the series, Nathan Drake is seen as a PlayStation mascot, while Uncharted 2 Among Thieves is considered one of the greatest games of all time. It received over 50 Game of the Year awards, with critics heralding it as a gaming milestone. The game currently lies among the highest ever rated PlayStation 3 games on Metacritic. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End is also ranked as one of the best in the series and the finest video games of the eighth generation. Okay, now we go to sales. The first installment was a member of the PlayStation Essentials range, having shipped over 2.6 million copies worldwide. Uncharted 2 was the highest selling game in the month of its release, and by the end of their life cycles, the games combined sold over 13 million copies by 2011. Sales for Uncharted 3 were revealed to have been over double that of its predecessor by Naughty Dog's product marketing manager Assad um, Quizzlebash, which far exceeded their expectations, and the game eventually helped bring the Uncharted series to verified sales of over 17 million copies worldwide. Um, Prior to the release of the fourth main installment, Sony revealed uh, the Uncharted series has sold over 28 million copies worldwide. Uncharted 4 is the best selling installment of the series to date, with over 15 million individual copies sold, making it one of the best selling PlayStation 4 games of all time. Sales accrued, which included the from the Lost Legacy expansion pack. Uh, in the December 2017 panel in celebration of the 10-year anniversary of the series at the PlayStation Experience event, revealed that the series has sold 41.7 million units globally. Okay. Accolades. Uncharted Drake's Fortune was awarded as PS3 Game of the Year by IGN. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves received several awards by 2009 Spike Video Game Awards. Game of the Year, Best PS3 Gaming, Best Graphics, and by 2010 BAFTA Game Awards. Of course, the story, action, use of audio, original score. The game also won in 10 categories, including Game of the Year at the 13th Annual Interactive Achievement Awards, and in 5 categories, including Game of the Year at the 10th Annual Game Developers Choice Awards. It was the game that won the most um, GOTY awards in 2009. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception received several awards by 2011 Spike Video Game Awards, Best PS3 Game, Best Graphics, and by the 15th Annual Interactive Achievement Awards. Outstanding achievement in visual engineering, outstanding achievement in art direction, outstanding achievement in animation. The game also was awarded in the category Video Game Writing by Writers Guild of America Awards and in the category Best Visual Arts by Game Developers Choice Awards. It was one of the most awarded games of 2011 in the category Game of the Year. Uncharted 4, A Thieves, and received several awards by the Game Awards 2016 Best Narrative, Best Performance, and by DICE Awards Adventure Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Story, Outstanding Technical Achievement, Outstanding Achievement in Animation. The game also won as Best Game at the 13th British Academy Games Awards, as PlayStation Game of the Year at the Golden Joystick Awards, and as Best Video Game at the Empire Awards. It was the game that won the most GOTY awards in 2016. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy won in two categories: Game, Franchise, Adventure, and Sound Editing in a Game Cinema at the National Academy of Video Game Trade Reviewers Award, and in the category Best Music Sound Design, People's Voice at the Webby Awards. Okay, there you have it right there, folks. Um, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Um, what do we have here? Yes. Yes, some upcoming gaming news that we need to get to right here. Let's get to it. I did not I ain't forget. So yeah, we're gonna get to it right now, actually. So let's get to 2023. So right here is gonna be some list of games that's already come out already. So we got so Toy Soldiers HD already came out. We Are the Caretakers, Children of Silent Town. One okay, so Kart Rider Drift, Long Ruin, Vengeful Guardian, Moonrider. So I was gonna go over that right there. Um all right, let's go over this one. All right, so we got Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. Retro platformers are not hard to come by. I count myself among the group of video game players who welcome efforts from small development teams that play to our nostalgia for an era where playing video games meant turning to channel 3. Some are fantastic, some are too hard to be enjoyable, but most land somewhere in the middle. Vengeful Guardian Moonrider won't go down in history as one of the greats that both embraces the past and modernizes the action, but I would place it closer to the fantastic side of the scale, even if it doesn't quite make it all the way. In Vengeful Guardian Moonrider, you are the titular Moonrider. You break out of your container and destroy the guards in a violent display that would have made you grateful your parents weren't watching had you been playing it on your Genesis in 1992. The story is sparse but endurable. For most of the experience, I wondered if I was the bad guy and enjoyed Moonrider's soliloquies about how unrestricted power isn't appropriate for anyone, no matter how noble their intentions. I also appreciated the little bits of personality injected into every boss before beginning the fight. The story is secondary, however, to the platforming and sword action. Moonrider moves well, um, bounces off walls like Samus Aran, and sprints to leap over large chasms. He feels great to move, but some annoying shortcomings appear where you can't see your next platform due to the camera limitations. To zoom out would make it feel too much like a modern game, but I don't know if it was worth the Genesis era accuracy to be occasionally annoyed, along with with the jumping and sword action, which accounts for most of the game. There are a handful of motorcycle levels. These levels toe a difficult line of looking like they could have existed on a 16-bit console, but I am almost certain they couldn't. More importantly, however, I enjoyed them as much as the standard platforming. Difficulty is often a shortcoming for comparable games, with many emphasizing challenge over fun. Thankfully, Vengeful Guardian Moonrider finds a good balance. Levels are hard, but achievable thanks to reasonable lives and checkpoints. The bosses have patterns that can be tracked and exploited, but probably not on your first attempt. Shit. Taking inspiration from Mega Man, after clearing the first level, the other six can be pursued in any order, and defeating its boss rewards you with a new weapon. The mechanic is a familiar one, but it works, and it's exciting to try out your new tornado weapon, or my favorite, a tentacle that ejects you from a portal. Hidden upgrades like a double jump or the ability to become stronger. The more enemies you defeat can also be found in every level and can optionally be equipped. I enjoyed these as rewards for exploring off the main path, but some are undeniably more useful than others. I found too early on that I never unequipped. One of the best things going for Vengeful Guardian Moonrider is its strength. Making your way to the last level and defeating the final boss only takes a few hours. In this way, it knows exactly what it is, a brief but enjoyable nostalgic experience that doesn't overstay its welcome. By the time you start feeling like you've completed a full retro meal, credited are right around the corner, and I appreciate it for that. Moonrider's adventure likely won't linger with you, but I don't regret playing the short, familiar, and satisfying experience. And its rating is 7.75. All right, so there you have it right there. And for what is it? Yes, so Vengeful Guardian Moonrider is for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And if you haven't noticed the release of these games that I just mentioned, go cop you some games for your game systems at any game store that you could think of or online. And yeah, so we got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, One Piece Odyssey. I'm not gonna go over that one. Um, Gigantosaurus Dino Kart. Um, came out on January 17th. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Osiris New Dawn came out on January 18th, and for PC, A Space for the Unbound for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC came out on the 19th of January. Also on January 19th, that came out Colossal Cave for PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Persona 4 Golden for Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. And also that came out on the 19th is Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 Portable. And January 20th, Fire Emblem Engage for Nintendo Switch. Monster Hunter Rise also came out on the 20th, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One as well. And Pocket Card Jockey Ride On iOS came out on January 20th. And I think I'm going to actually hold on a second. Let me see. I think I'm going to hold off on the other reviews for the games. I'll probably do that in the next episode whatsoever. So without further ado, here's what we're going to do right here, man. All right, so we're going to go to our very last segment of the night. We'll go over the reviews of the other games that previously came out already. But in this segment right here called Stream Choices on the Go is where I tell you where you can actually listen to the podcast episodes on every streaming platforms and of course social media too. So here it is. All right. So you know what you folks out there know what to do. So you like what you heard in the reviews of each game, whether it's music artists, whether it's whatever it is that you want to hear or whatever. Um Feel free to show some love by following Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, the review show on Instagram, alongside with my sports platform, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast, the sports edition show, and of course, Off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast. Alongside with myself is the primary handle of myself is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Turn your notifications so you can be in the know on which episode is going to be dropping and when I'm going to be on Instagram live as well. So there you have it right there. All right, so if you go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, you're gonna see a whole list of audio stream platforms, including the one section where you can watch visually. So, and you can leave a voice message on there too. Anchor.fm/Meticulous Vibe Juice Pod, so you don't miss anything as far as the topics. You could chime in on the topics that we just reviewed in this episode and previous episodes that I did. All right, so starting with Anchor. And by the way, don't forget to give a 5-star rating to Podchaser, Podfriend, and of course Spotify as well. 5-star rating will be appreciated, and also leave a review. It'll be appreciated. Of course, tell us your thoughts about the review topics and what you thought about it. All right, so let's get into. Hold on a second. Yeah, shouts to Matthew Lawrence. What's up with you? All right, so starting with Anchor. We are on Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. You don't need a debit card or a credit card to download iHeartRadio or any of the apps that I just mentioned. You can download these apps. If you don't have it, you can go to the link for the listings of the link tree. You can download these apps onto your iPhones, your Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, and of course you get downloaded to your laptops, which is Mac and Windows. Any Windows version, it doesn't matter. You can download it to your Dell laptops as well. And make sure you follow not only this podcast but also my sports platform, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast, the Sports Edition show, along with my number one primary platform, which is Off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast on there as well. So don't forget to follow those podcast shows, including this one on iHeartRadio, and of course, finally, make sure you grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page of Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. And of course, be sure to stay tuned for more video content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. And of course, don't forget to share the episodes, share the videos, listen, stream, watch the episodes, download these episodes. That's important. And of course, tell a friend to another friend. Word of mouth is important. Spread the word. And of course, share the podcast and the link that says Linktree/Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, the people you are cool with from work and everywhere else where you meet new people, whether it's at festivities, parties, get-togethers, sporting events, whatever it is. So, hold on a minute. Okay, we got the least favorite. Shouts to Natalie from the least favorite podcast right here. Now, if you don't know about her podcast, I want you all to check out her podcast, which is on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcast. That I already mentioned right there. So go check out her podcast as well as myself right here. So, and I think that's gonna do it for me. And congratulations to Natalie from the least favorite podcast for reaching over 100 episodes right there, man. Let me make some noise, man. Let me make some noise right here, man, which is very appropriate for the success right here, man. You know what I mean? Okay, let's get into it right about here. All right. All right. I'm your I'm your man G Money Stacks. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in to episode 110, all about Uncharted. And of course, remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you got to work hard and you have to earn it. New York wasn't built in a day. And of course, you want to look and find something that clicks to you, that makes you happy, and that makes you smile of doing what you love. Creatively, mentally, physically, and spiritually. That gets you into your zone on your P's and Q's, alongside with tunnel vision. Find your voice, be yourself, follow your goals and dreams. Don't let anybody fucking stop you from doing what you love, because that's very important to not only your mental health, but it's also therapeutic and important to following your heart. because that's what matters here. So I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in and rocking with me. This has been a blast. I will be back in the next episode. So I hope y'all had a nice, good weekend. And I hope y'all are being careful out there with one another and being able to reach out to one another in case they are going through something dark on the inside, whatever is bothering them whatsoever, because you never know what they might be going through. So don't second guess yourself and assume that they are okay. Just when you take a risk by reaching out to them to see what's wrong or whatever, of course, you're going to get rewards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to get rewards, man. You know what I mean? And that's a bonus that you and that's a bonus that you can't miss. For real, man. And so yeah, I'm up out of here. Peace and one love. And I hope y'all enjoyed your weekend and of course enjoy yourselves, be yourselves, and have yourselves a good night.